Okay, because of the moon landing. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Came across that somewhere out in New Mexico, said I have to have it.
Oh, it's from Tucson, yeah.
Yeah, it's the real one.
Here we go. Welcome to the channel. Hi, I'm Matt the Lizard, your guide in this adventure and exploration. Today, on this fine Saturday afternoon, we're gonna go check out an RV park. Oh, there's plenty of RV parks in Florida, but this one is something kind of special. It's very unique. I've heard good things. A friend of mine told me about it, and it was a little bit of a drive from where we were at, but we came over to check it out. So, remember, stay seated in the video. You want to watch this one completely all the way through. All right, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hey, I am Denise Mayfield and my husband Dallin Mayfield.
How you doing?
And we own Retroville. We developed this 4 years ago, owned it for 25, and we've been blessed to
It's kind of our love of camping, and we combine camping and retro entertainment together kind of for a unique experience. And we're taking a little tour with you today, and we're eventually encompasses what we are. Yes,
Yeah.
RetrovilleRV.com.
RetrovilleRV.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we were just coming back from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I happened to go to a lot of, I said, give me some flyers and let me run into these campground, camping world.
Okay.
And I went in and I would find a salesman, and I showed him the flyer and explained we're a 1960s drive-in movie-themed RV park, and they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And it's like all of a sudden I had 4 or 5 guys up there, and everybody was wanting my flyers. I'm
Awesome.
like, I must have clicked onto something that's unique.
You
know
did,
what I mean?
you
So,
did, you hit it, because
Yeah.
that's what got me.
Yeah.
And then he posted about your park, and I'm like, that is the coolest thing I've seen all year.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I have to go out there. That's when I emailed your wife about it.
We really, there's not many people in this part of the country that are really into the entertainment kind of thing here. And I'm such a West Coast kind
Sure.
of guy that I carried a lot of this West Coast stuff with me. You know what I
Sure.
mean? And I mean, I lived in California for a large part of my life, so it's like it was just part of me. But I thought it's turned out okay. It's always needs to have the grass cut.
That's
but,
beautiful,
you know,
yeah.
Yeah.
How many spots do you have here?
I have 7 starting. I'm getting ready to have 10, and then I'll have 12, and then we can go all the way up to 16.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we own up to the highway up there. We're just going to develop it at a later date. You know, we just had to get over.
Yeah, we almost missed the turnoff. We ended up in the left turn lane because we came off of I-10.
Oh, wow.
I was going up 79. I wanted to take a picture of something that I saw last week,
Yeah.
and I never could find it.
Oh, wow.
And she goes, where the heck are we going? Pensacola. I was like, Freeport.
Now, where did you come from?
Panama City Beach. That's where we're based out
Okay,
of.
all right. We're not. That's not that far.
No. If we took 331, we would have been here a lot quicker.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. It's true. Yeah,
Well,
we just kind of took the little building that I had and turned it into a little gas station. And
Was this here, or you moved it here? Okay.
Yeah, I built this years ago, but it's gone through a lot of transitions of different paint and color, and so.
But that's kind of what makes it cool.
Yeah, and then I just said, well, I had the glass, and it's a really retro-looking place, kind of anyway.
Sure.
So I said, why not? And at night it lights up. Everything lights up. You know, this whole place lights up at night. It looks
Okay.
really pretty. All the trees are lit, and
Awesome.
you know, all the old gas stations light up. And I got the Pargo, the 3-wheel golf cart. I had to get
Okay.
that. It's a original Pargo, 1965. I got it up in North Carolina, and about 2 years ago, and I just loved it. And I run around on it all the time at the park. Yeah, all this is on timers at night. It all lights up, even the Sonic sign.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
very
lights
cool.
up. So, and then I started with like the retro outside lights, and I just said I want to put as much in it as I want to give people a lot to look at, and it's fun to see when people come in and see their faces, all the smiles, and
Sure.
they're happy, and that's
Sure.
really kind of why I did it. You know what I mean? It's just fun. So, yeah, labor of love, man.
Yeah, definitely. It shows. It definitely shows.
Thank you.
Would you say, like, as far as like the RV industry, are you starting to get like a lot of people who have come here because it's an RV park first, and then they discover how cool it is, or is it the other way?
No, they're really discovering us because it's a nostalgic place.
That's
yeah,
cool.
our very first people that came out were from Texas, and we'd gone to a car show, and we were home, and we were really tired, and it was about a month ago, and it was about 8 o'clock at night, and her phone rang, and we had the chain across out up here, and the girl says, "We're here," and we're like, "Where?" And so they said they booked online about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we didn't get the notification on an email. And I asked them when they came out, I said, "So I'm just curious, you're our first booking. Why did you book?" She goes, "Oh, we saw you online and all the nostalgia and the retro stuff." And she said, "We just had to come look."
Definitely.
So yeah, I think that's probably about 70% or 75% of it is that. I just kind of want to give people an experience, not only with camping, but really a nostalgic trip back to a time when things were really cool. Music was great, movies were great, and a lot it was going on in the creative industry, and that's kind of what I've kind of just latched onto. So
how has the learning curve been with like learning the RV business portion of it?
I have pulled an RV for 25, 30 years.
Okay,
so me and the wife travel cross country for probably 3 months a year, so I know the RV.
You can see the extent of my knowledge. Did you see how fast I pulled in?
Oh, yeah.
5 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's all right.
I know the rule.
Yeah. No, we had a guy up here the other day that had a Airstream that the quit working, the jack quit working. I said, well, let's just check the breaker inside, and that was what was the problem.
Oh, awesome.
So it's just, you're always going to have little issues like that with RVs and everything. So now I've been around it since I was in my 30s, and so it's fun, and we just wanted to combine entertainment and nostalgia and traveling in RVs together. So that's kind of what we did at Retroville.
No,
so,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think you have a great thing here.
Thank you,
man.
man.
Great thing.
Appreciate it, man. Like everybody watching films and stuff in the 60s and 70s, I was watching Charlie's Angels and all these really cool TV shows that were filmed in California. So when I graduated high school a long time ago, when I was 1979, I decided that I wanted to move to California, and I was a musician. I've been playing a couple of years. I wanted to move to California, and I wanted to really go out and experience the California thing. So I, for some reason, moved to New York City first. Believe it or not, I lived there for a year, and it was a bizarre coincidence. The fourth or fifth night I'm there, a gentleman that I knew introduced me to Paul Stanley with Kiss. Went up to his apartment, got to hang out with him. The next day we he introduced me to Kate Jackson, and then Christopher, who played Superman, Christopher Reeves. And so I've only been in New York probably a couple of weeks, but it was a long story how I met this gentleman who knew everybody. But anyway, I ended up in New York for about a year. I stayed with this gentleman for about a year, and then I went to California in 1983-ish and everything, and I moved to Malibu, and I answered an ad, and I bothered that poor woman so much. She called me today, and she said, you got it. So I worked at the label for 2 years for free in the legal department, and Universal MC is the biggest record company in the world, and I'm this 21-year-old kid, and I'm over on the legal department, but I never went over on the A&R side, because that was behind the white door where all the famous people and musicians were, and you weren't allowed over there unless you had business over there. I went over there, and I started working unpaid, and then after about a year and a half, they gave me a really good salary. So I'm like 24-year-old kid, and I mean, Bobby Brown, I went to his wedding with Whitney Houston. I mean, Elton John, Tom Petty. You had Robbie Krieger, and then you had Ray Manzarek, who played, and then they recreated Jim Morrison's part with the lead singer from the group Wild Child. Yeah. So we've actually got really good fun, and it was an exact copy of the Doors band in like 2015, or and then a couple of years later, year and a half later, he passed away.
Ray Manzarek passed away. Yeah. He passed away. But we've been traveling every summer from June to October. We leave Florida in June from here, and we would go just on Harleys. We didn't have a camper. We would pull this one wheelie thing behind his bike and have a pop-up tent in it. A little tent. We did it old school, and we're not young.
We've had a chance to go visit with Mark with Graveyard Cars up there. Yeah. And I don't know if you watched that. It's on.
Yeah. I've seen it.
Yeah. He's a very, very cool guy. And there's a couple of people we met there. And my old favorite thing is Mannix. I mean, I had to get Mike to sign that for us, and the Monkees and Steve McQueen, and then some stuff over here.
And this was a George Barris car, right?
Yeah, okay. It is. And then Family Affair.
Oh yeah,
Stuff here.
Puffy and Jody.
Yeah. Kathy's
And-
really
and,
sweet lady. She's
There's
cool.
Mary Ann from Gilligan's
Yeah.
Island. We
Yeah.
saw her in Utah.
Yeah.
You know?
We've seen her a couple of years, and she's passed away now too.
Yeah.
And then my favorite one's obviously the Sean Connery one. You know.
Yes,
I met
absolutely.
Sean, and then the Happy Days.
Yeah, it's just, we've just had so much fun. But what we wanted to do was always open an RV park, but we loved Utah. But we didn't own land in Utah. So Dallin's like, well, he's owned this. We've had it for many years. We had an RV boat storage here. He said, let's do it here. So it took a long time and a lot of stuff to get through the county. But we finally got approved in 19. We were getting ready to start construction. COVID hits.
Oh yeah.
You know, that was a 2-year standstill.
Sure.
And then it took us this long to actually, we just opened March 3rd. But the dream of the RV park has happened. We got our first rally here. All the
There's
stuff
Shree
that
Rally,
was
yeah.
stored in
Yeah.
our bedroom forever is now on a wall.
Yeah.
It's not in boxes.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice. We have more at the house that we don't, I don't know if we don't have space to bring it out here.
Yeah,
We
at this
just don't
point,
have
everything I
space.
gotta get's gotta be small. Everybody wants to give me stuff, and I'm like, oh, I gotta have.
No, we want it.
space
It's
for
just we got to make
Yeah.
space.
Yeah,
But,
I just tried to. We just tried to blend. Primarily, I like a lot of the spy stuff out of the 1960s, and a lot of this was stuff when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I actually had to go back and find out how cool it was. I mean, that Route 66 game. That is an original game from 1961 from the TV show Route 66.
Cool.
And I absolutely love that show. And it's
Martin
probably one of the
Miller.
best TV shows on. And it was TV Guide and everything, you know. But we've been to the James Dean Museum up in Indiana. Never met him. He was long gone before we were around. And we love Star Trek and just a little bit of everything. The Rifleman and Dirty Harry and Batman. We just try
Green
to.
Acres, Man from Uncle.
Green Acre.
We tried to.
I got the-
paper dolls.
I got the Star
actually-
Trek-
I actually
Star Trek
found that
Barbie.
cool paper doll box because I used to have paper dolls.
Oh, I
as a
love
kid.
paper dolls.
Yes,
Yeah.
I found that in an antique store in New Mexico, of
Yeah.
all places. You know,
We
everybody
like-
was walking by it, and I'm like, man, that's paper. That's Green
You
Acres.
didn't find it. It found you.
It
Yeah.
found me.
And we
It
like
found
Easy
me.
Rider.
And
That's one of
so-
our favorite movies,
Yeah.
Easy Rider. And then we have a 70 Challenger, so I've been collecting all of this stuff from all the original Mopar stuff from 50 years ago. And some of this stuff had been given to me. And
And
there's original
we've been
G.I.
to the,
Joe, and then original Hogan's Heroes. I like that. It's
And we
just,
go find all these film locations also. So like
Yeah,
our
okay.
Easy Riders, you know, where it had the no vacancy sign for the hotel.
yeah.
We've been there in Arizona how many
Yeah.
times? I don't even
Many.
know. It
Yeah.
still stands. I mean, it's empty. They've got a lot of stuff stored in it, but the sign and the gas pumps, everything is still there. It's so cool. And from Vanishing Point, Cisco, Utah, we go out there and the building
That's cool.
is collapsed.
I actually have a
there.
piece of the movie
Kowalski.
of Vanishing Point at the park.
It's
Oh,
out
wow.
here.
That's
And,
cool.
and at the final scene where Kowalski goes by a Shell station, I have a piece of that
Okay, I'd
Shell
like to see
station from this outside. And everybody always asks me why Kowalski lives.
Oh wow, that's cool.
But that was actually in the movie.
That's
It
cool.
was a piece of that, thing. But yeah, it was actually in the movie, so I
There-
brought it here. So.
There's going back to Easy Rider.
Yeah.
There's a Catholic cemetery in New Orleans. That's where we go a lot,
Uh huh.
and they shot a scene there.
Yeah.
Okay, where they were leaned up against the tombstones.
Yeah.
Because of that movie, the Catholic Church doesn't allow filming in any of their cemeteries anymore.
It's amazing.
Because of that.
I can't believe when we find these really cool places like the gas station in Cisco. Nobody has restored it or preserved it, made a museum or a shop out of it. I mean, or a restaurant around
There's
it.
so many people that still show up to Cisco, Utah with their Mopar. It's
Oh,
like a
wow.
holy grail.
Sure.
At least 4 or 5 cars a day. And I mean, if somebody was re-erected that gas station, they could have made a fortune with it.
Yeah,
you know?
and the restaurant from Thelma and Louise.
Yeah.
When she was calling
Oh,
the
yeah.
police
The diner.
officer,
We found
the
that.
diner's still there. Now,
And she knows she's really good. We're really good friends with the guy who owns the only
original car.
Thunderbird in the movie Thelma and Louise, and
And I got to
Louise, we
drive
get
it
to
in
drive
Moab.
it when we go to
It was
Moab
so
every
cool.
year. We
He
drive
got
around
me,
town.
He got
with
me a little thing of wild turkey to drink, you know.
it. Yeah.
And we went down the strip of Moab, and I'm drinking the wild turkey, driving that little
Oh,
Thunderbird.
that's cool.
Oh, it was that. I got pictures. It was such a blast. His name's Larry Campbell. He does a lot of film locations out in Utah.
Okay.
So we got to meet this guy. He's pretty amazing, you know.
But
And
some of
now
this, I did the
life-
Beatles shark up there. Was an
Oh,
old
that's cool.
shark that was just sitting around here and rusted, and I said I want to make it look really cool, and everybody
Oh, like
loves
the submarine.
that.
Yeah, the submarine. Yeah, it was rusted out. We didn't know what
No,
to
that's
do with
perfect.
it. So Dallin painted
And this
it.
is our mast from the past. All of all cool places in the '60s where you can go, and
Okay.
that's all real miles.
Wow.
The mast from the past. Yeah.
Altamont, Sunset Strip. That is very cool.
Yeah, I painted all that.
You guys got a good thing going on here.
Thank you. And then we just kind of wanted to make. We have a lot of hot rods and stuff that usually come by. And we had one yesterday, a hot rod that came by, and they get pictures in front of it. It looks like a gas station, and I have them pull in front of the sign, and then
It's a vibe. It's definitely a
yeah, it's not just camping. We're gonna make it fun, you know.
vibe. You can see you guys are what do they say, the magic circle of if there's something you're good at that you like doing,
Yeah.
and you can make money at it, you got to go for it. If you get all three, you got to jump on it.
Yeah.
My 12-year-old granddaughter Isabel is all about the retro.
Okay.
So she's going to run the park.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
she's got as much.
So these
she
are
gets
all your...
Now I'm filming this. She could use this against you in court, so be careful.
Yes, she can tell you more retro stuff than any 12-year-old
Okay,
I've ever met.
very cool.
She is totally into it. She's so hip, you know. She's just a really cool girl.
Kind of on all these signs, the mileage is just kind of accurate.
Sure.
You know, I just kind of wanted to do some of that and just
Oh,
make
that's
it
fun.
kind of real eclectic and.
Now, you say like mid-century,
Mhm.
60s, 70s. If you were to say that there was 1 year that this place was, what year would you make
Probably
it?
1969.
All right.
Yeah.
Wait.
I was gonna say
you just won her over.
67, yeah.
Because she was born in 69, I was born in 70,
Well-
and I didn't want to tell her that. And I'm like, they're going to say
I'm a
69.
show you
67 model, so I always say it was the summer of love. But
Yeah.
Here, and it looks like we're getting, you know, I have them pull the thing out, putting gas in it and everything, and then they pull up and get pictures in front of the sign, and our guests like it because they're just hanging out here to
Sure.
camp, and you can kind of combine the 60s with camping,
Yes.
and it's something
you gotta
different.
check out our homemade gas pump though. We
Okay.
turned the
Oh, yeah,
gas
yeah.
pump
Oh, yeah.
into a stereo and TV.
All right.
This is so cool.
I'll check
We
it
had
out.
somebody make it for us out of Atlanta. He's really thrifty.
Oh, no, that's cool.
But this is an old gas pump, a real gas pump. He took the guts out and he converted it into a TV, or you can play stereo.
Yeah,
That's
Oh,
cool.
man.
and all we show is 60 stuff,
And
not
yeah.
70
it's all
stuff.
Bluetooth, so you can put it on speakers.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I think this is the neatest thing ever.
Oh yeah, most
And then we've got an
definitely.
original 1964 Coke
The
machine
Coke
in there that works. And then that's kind of our Coca-Cola room in there.
Okay.
I don't have it right now on, but we have people that come in here and
Sure.
do funny pictures, and there's the old stereophonic kind of thing
Oh,
there.
that's awesome.
Yeah, aren't those neat? And there's some of the albums.
Oh, yeah.
I have a 1969 jukebox at home
Okay,
at the house,
cool.
yeah. And I've still got a lot of the original records and 45s and everything here, so.
Vinyl's cool. 45s are kind of inconvenient.
Yeah, they are.
I'm not complaining about the format, but I
They
have
are.
a ton of them. When my dad died, I got
Yeah.
stacks and stacks of them.
But we were gonna do it kind of. I can't do it all spy oriented, but
Sure.
I have to kind of broaden everything.
Of course.
1960s surf stuff,
Sure.
motorcycle stuff, spy stuff, Bonanza. I used to know Lauren Green's wife after he passed. I used to
Okay.
sail with Nancy on their boat out in California. I used to sail with Nancy. She was a good friend after he had passed. So. Yeah, I lived out in Los Angeles a long time.
And he's one of those guys that, like, based on how you know him,
Mhm.
shows how old you are.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people say, oh, Battlestar Galactica. No,
Yeah.
Bonanza.
Yeah, Bonanza.
We have a younger
Yeah.
sister who was 43 and
Yeah, so many very, very cool things.
Yeah, it's been a lot of. Even Parker's family gets in there. You know what I mean?
so that was kind of
That's cool.
My grandkids come out. About the only thing I let him play with is the etch a
Sure,
sketch.
because that's easy to replace.
That's easy.
she had a double
Logan's Run, classic.
and it
Love
was
that.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
A book. I've never seen it before.
No.
And some of this stuff is mine as a kid. This is my old atomic ray gun. and my globe and my cap. And
Is this a Coca-Cola radio?
that is a Coca-Cola radio.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And here's our logo that we just kind of did. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
She had
Darren was asking me how we did this the other day. I'm like, well, I probably had to have 25 or 30 artists draw us to come up with. I wanted the Hanna-Barbera look.
Yes.
I didn't want the 80s
You nailed
Nintendo.
it. You
I
nailed
wanted
it.
the Hanna-Barbera Scooby-Doo kind of look, and that's
Who was
what
it? Was it Alex?
because that's what caused
Jordan?
it. But she smokes.
Was Alex Jordan who did most of that?
I don't remember. I don't remember. Come on out and I'll show you.
Put it down in the comments if you know who the artist was for Scooby-Doo.
Oh, she's good.
And there's some more Happy Days, American Graffiti, Ron Howard. There's us with the guys in Happy Days, and this one's
These two guys were here a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And on the beach.
yeah.
She's gonna have to start
And then there's us with Mark McCain from the Rifleman, and
He just passed away recently, didn't he?
Yeah. He's a good friend, man. He's a good guy. And I love Billy Jack too, and The Twilight Zone and Bewitched, and just kind of everything from that era entertainment.
There's one show missing, not judging your collection. I love
that?
your collection.
What's that?
There's one show that I don't see anything represented.
What's that?
Andy Griffith Show. That's my thing. Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Never met nobody from that.
They're dissolving.
Even though Ron Howard, they say, is from my home state of Oklahoma, I never met him.
Yeah.
breast implants, but
Never met him.
she didn't do it because
I got one of the writers sent me an autographed photo of him and Andy, and Andy passed away before I got it signed by Andy.
Yeah.
And he didn't really like to sign autographs anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, come on down. We'll
Sure.
show you what we're going to do with the water. And everything. Yeah.
Well, it's beautiful property.
Thank you.
What body of water is this?
It's the Choctawhatchee Bay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Choctawhatchee Bay.
Do you have more guests coming in? Because I know you had this.
This is our first Airstream rally that
Okay.
we're doing. And it just so happened to be on this weekend. And I'm glad they got some really good weather.
I love the bedrock font on the lot markers.
I had a guy up in Defuniak Springs that did those for me, and I said, I gotta have the bedrock font.
Very cool.
And eventually what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna put cartoon characters from the 60s on all these open spaces, about 5 foot tall ones.
Very, very cool.
But little by little.
So I see that a lot of this is home crafted stuff you've collected along the years. What is that thing in your collection that you don't have that you're always looking for? I don't want people to besiege you with like, hey man, I got one, here it is, $5,000.
I don't know, let me think about that, because I collect so many different things. I don't know. That's a good question. I've got a lot more James Bond stuff that's not even up.
Okay.
I really like.
Mine is more sci-fi stuff. I love the horror stuff, I'm big into that, but classic sci-fi is
here's
awesome.
Our view.
Oh wow.
We're eventually going to build a dock.
And you
down
go out,
here,
that is cool.
and it's going to be beautiful, and that's on the Choctawhatchee Bay.
So that actually leads to the Intercoastal. You can get to the Gulf of Mexico that way. Wow.
Sure can. Yeah.
It's like you have this little slice of heaven,
Yeah.
literally.
We have worked hard to do it. It's a unique little piece of
It is,
property.
yeah.
It's just kind of a place people can come and have some fun and forget
Sure.
about, and come back to like 1969, you know, and we have all the original, all the old RVs that find us too. So.
Yeah. I
But you
love
don't
the
have to
Airstreams,
have
they're
a-
cool.
You don't have to have an old RV to come.
Okay, that's good. Now, only because I want to go to the RV part. I get all this. What's allowed is, do you have a limit on size, length, age, on anything that will come in?
No,
If it's
no.
got wheels, you're good?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people have trouble camping nowadays with a lot of the RV parks because they limited them to 10 years or newer.
Yes.
And I'm like, you know what? You're really doing yourself a disservice, because some of the coolest. I mean, that's a 1986 Airstream. That's beautiful.
It is. It's
And
gorgeous.
it can't get in a lot of places because of the age limit. And I'm like, we have a lot of one of our second or third RVs that was in was a 14-foot Shasta. And I mean, it was a 1963 model.
Cool.
They're so cool.
Yeah.
And people, what they do is they refurb them inside. And I mean, these things they're the bomb, man. I mean, so we love, we love any RV.
Sure.
And most of everything that's come see us so far has been really.
Yeah, the chassis usually have like that atomic print laminate on everything, and all the corners around it. And
yeah. Most of the stuff that's come seen us has been really cool and retro.
Do you have any physical physical limitations? Like if somebody had the big, gigantic Forest River class grade A?
You know, believe it or not, in this one middle site, I just fit, his RV was 40 foot long, and his truck was 22, so he was 62 feet long, and he fit in it.
Okay.
And so I could probably get a 70 footer in number 7.
So you get no problems.
And so those two, and then I can get a 38 footer on the right, and then if you got to just, you know, you got to detach and park somewhere else. And then up here in number 4, I can get a 36 footer there and a 34 footer there, and then number 1 is probably the smallest one. I can get probably about a 24 footer in there.
So you're actually almost better off than a lot of the state national parks, because usually they have a 30-foot limit.
Yeah, they're pretty small. Yeah.
They don't want to redo them all.
Yeah, and then we're opening up these two. These will be 40 footers. These 3 sites up there will be 40 footers when we're done with this. So, yeah, we're the state parks don't really allow much of a big rig to come in, and we travel with a big rig. I mean, I've got my F350, and then I pull a 32-foot bumper pull behind us, so we're really big. I'm 58 feet long when I roll, but I use that as my guide when I built the park, and I said, well, if I can get my 32-foot obnoxious bumper pull in any of these sites, then nobody else is going to have a problem. So I was my own worst. I was my first customer, and I was a grumpy customer. You know what I mean? But no, I got it to where people can back in and turn, and I'm not even on the sidewalk. And
so being as cool with your finger on the pulse of it, I know you've seen the long trailer.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, my last post on our
highly recommend that movie if you want to understand what the industry's like.
Yeah. It was what, 1952?
Yeah.
Was it 52?
Yeah.
Lucy and Desi, they bought this. If you look on the Retroville Facebook page, my last post was her getting in some jams, and I did a little quiz with people. I said, what did Lucy collect that got them in a lot of trouble? And the very first person that saw it said rocks.
Rocks, of course.
And she collected
boulders.
They were boulders.
Yeah.
Yeah, the long trailer is hilarious. It's great. But yeah,
my favorite part is the brakes on the mountain. The old man's trying to tell him, hey, just, go easy on the brakes, don't burn them. He goes, well, what if I do burn them? Well, then just ignore them.
That spot is right at a 16% grade, and it's in California, and I've been over it with that truck.
Okay.
And I know, because I've got a picture on Facebook that I showed with her about to get to the crest, and that's not the bad part. The bad part's when you got to go down, not going up. And they're in a car pulling that huge trailer, and I'm like, it is, even in my truck, I had it's 16% is one heck of a grade. You have to really watch what you're doing, and I have a 6-speed manual transmission, and I have an exhaust brake too, and I still have to, with that much weight pushing.
Sure.
I don't know how they did it. That was really dangerous in a car. I don't know if they did. I can't remember.
That's nuts.
Oh. Yeah, no, I love the long trail. That's a hilarious. Man.
It is, yeah.
So
it's a good testament to being first newly married.
Yeah.
I don't know how long you guys have been married. We've been married it'd be 34 years.
Yeah, 17 for us.
17. That's a win.
Yeah.
But all those little arguments, those microaggressions and stuff, that we went through that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Now we're bulletproof.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's fun. The people that you meet RVing, and the places you get into, and you get into some jams sometimes and everything. But the last day or two we've had a tough time getting this place built. But the last day or two, with everybody coming in, we really realized this is what we like to do.
Okay.
We love meeting people.
That's cool.
We love showing our stuff to them. We love creating smiles and great memories. And we can't wait till we have the dock down on the water, and we really
That's gonna be really cool.
rocking and rolling. So,
do you have like a pet policy? Well-behaved pets, okay?
No, pets are all right.
Okay.
We love dogs. We've got I think there's probably 8 dogs in all of these RVs.
Okay, great.
They're big, beautiful dogs, though.
Awesome.
Yeah. Lieutenant Uhura, we priced her out. She was like $900 just for her.
Wow.
And I mean, Spock was only $300 or $400, but this guy, I told him, I said, I guarantee the set will not be broken up. I'm not doing it for money.
Sure.
The crew of the Enterprise needs to stay the crew of the Enterprise.
Exactly.
And years later, we're going to build something for a display probably at our house.
Yeah, because it's still in all the boxes he gave me with all the paperwork, everything. We don't have anywhere to display it.
Yeah.
Oh,
but it's
awesome.
the coolest thing, and he's like, he liked us so much. He had all these collectibles things in his little garage, his little man cave.
Yeah.
He said, I'll give you the whole thing for $200.
Oh, that's
and then we
just
have
don't break it up. And
we have a
we
one-armed bandit from the Rat Pack. The we were in Vegas.
1940 slot machine.
Yeah, we were in Vegas years ago, and we were off Vegas and down somewhere, and we found these. I found online. I found these chips that had the Rat Pack's picture in these poker chips, and it was so cool. And I said, I have to go to where these poker chips are for sale. And then they had that, and then they had the Riviera. They had little money bags. Then I actually got the dice from the Sands, actual real dice, and playing cards from the Sands. And then we found the one-armed bandit from the Sands. Wow. So we have all of this at our house, and it's like got a picture of Dean Martin and the Rat Pack, and then the one-armed bandit.
See, it's not hoarding if it's cool stuff.
Yeah.
And isn't it much better that you can have it out and enjoy it?
Yeah.
Because we had a small house in St. Andrews, and I had a lot of cool stuff. And it was in boxes or in a closet or whatever. Now we have a little bit bigger house, and I can have stuff out. And
he's got his
it
own
makes me
bedroom.
Yeah.
Full of it.
Yeah, well,
I bet that one-armed bandit's probably about 200 pounds. I mean,
it's
solid
really heavy.
Still.
Yeah, but it's red, and it was in the Sands.
Oh, wow.
I mean, Sinatra or somebody could have pulled it. Who
It's
knows?
got like nicotine smell on it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Nice. It's been refurbished, but it's
That's
still pretty
cool.
rough. And then I have the original Dr. No poster, the original on paper from 1962, and then I have the original Goldfinger, and then I have the original, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, then I have the original Diamonds Are Forever from 71, and then I have the original Man with the Golden Gun from 74. And these are big prints, and I have them on my wall. I mean, these have followed me around for 45 years, and it was crazy. I didn't think they were worth that much, and I went on the other day and I was looking at eBay, and I'm like, 10,000
for one poster?
For a poster, because it's got the original timestamp print on that. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Who's your favorite 007?
Oh, Sean Connery, of course. But I love George Lazenby. He was my favorite. He was my second favorite. You know, Sean is my first, and then George was my second. He was only in one movie. He was only in On Her Majesty's Secret Service, but it is a fantastic film. And he just didn't get along with the producers very well. And by 1971, Sean replaced him again in Diamonds Are Forever. But and I like Roger Moore too. He's cool, but the Bond stuff got a little campy. Live and Let Die was great, and Man with the Golden Gun was pretty good. But the time you got to Spy Who Loved Me, it was just a little over the top for me.
That's true.
But I like the new ones.
Okay.
I like this guy.
That's what Duran named their band.
View to a Kill.
Yeah.
Kill.
That was a great song, and I liked that movie. You know, they seemed to dial back a little bit of stuff when they did View to a Kill, and I like that movie too. Christopher Walken, isn't he in that? He's a great. I think so, He's a great character actor.
He's creepy. God, he's creepy.
He is. Somebody told me the reason he got so many parts was his sister was one of the biggest casting agents out west. That's why he got all these parts. The Deer Hunter and all this kind of stuff.
Have you ever seen? Again, I'm going back to the sci-fi stuff. Brainstorm.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
Natalie Wood's last film.
Yeah.
He is prime Christopher Walken in there.
Yeah. He is a very unique personality. He's very unique. So I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve to be in all these movies, because I think he made a lot of them.
And he's a qualified ballroom dancer and stuff, which is so bizarre.
He was in that video.
Fat Boy Slim. Yeah.
He's a unique individual. I've never had a chance to meet him or nothing, but I've just watched his films. He's fantastic.
And they say his speaking style is because his parents were Hungarian Jews, and they wanted to speak English in the house.
Yeah.
So they put little pauses in because they're translating in their head, and that's why he speaks the way he does.
That's it.
And I've also heard that if you do the Christopher Walken him, which I can't do, I love doing little voices, but if you do it to him, he doesn't know what you're doing. He doesn't understand it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's just like, I don't get it. What's the joke?
More cowbell.
Yeah.
That's the best one.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's so funny. He's probably going to be remembered for more cowbell than anything.
Yes.
Saturday Night Live. You know what I mean?
More cowbell.
He's a trip though, man. He's the Deer Hunter, and oh man, I mean, I just watched that a while back, and his buddy has to go find him over to Vietnam. He's just scary. He's really over the edge. He takes acting to another level, man.
He does.
I hear the crunch of customers.
Yes.
Folks are coming back.
You play an instrument or several.
Right, music, yeah. We were in a group called the Mean Street Riders, and we're still on iTunes. And the Mean Street Riders, and it's called the album was called High on the Hog, and we still get quite a few downloads.
You have to get the long tail of your career on that and have those in here. And hey, I'll sign it.
I've got some.
CDs. I don't know.
I just haven't had a chance. We just got
That's
open,
cool.
but I will. It was all original. It's not cover music. I don't play other people's music. It was kind of a cross between the Eagles meet ZZ Top, harder
very cool.
Eagles crunchy rock.
Very
but
cool.
it was the guys were fantastic. Everybody in the band was a lead singer, so there were 5 lead singers. So like some songs we'll do duets and then 3 of us will sing on some and stuff like that. It was a great project to be with, on.
It was a lot of fun. We got to do a lot of travel.
We did. Harley Davidson hired us to go do a lot of travel and tours and announce concerts and things like that. So it was a blast. So.
You too.
Bye.
Well, there you have it, and there it is. Thanks for watching. Had a lot of fun doing this. They were super cool people. Retroville RV Park in Freeport, Florida. Dallin and Denise, very gracious hosts. They were so generous with their time. I see what they're trying to do here, and I really, really enjoy it. I'm not an RVer. We don't go camping. Yeah, I'm in a miniature SUV right now. But I would come here if I had a camper. I highly recommend it. They are not a sponsor. They could be. But we're doing kind of mutual aid to each other. They let me get some content, and I'm going to push out their RV park. So 13 miles from the beaches of South Walton County, easily accessible from Panama City Beach up US 98. Good folks. Remember, I have merch. I have the Matt the Lizard Conserve t-shirt parodies in stock for a little while yet. I'll put a link in the description. Also, I have cameos. I can do a personalized video for you or your business. They're very affordable. I'll put a link to that in the description. And remember, you are important. The world needs more people like you. Matt the Lizard, out.